All right, so been a while since I made a video, but I know I'm kind of late to the party with this, but just sort of watching this whole thing unfold just kind of really motivated me to come out and make another video. As I mentioned before in the past, I'm a pretty big fan of the Halo series. I've played since 2001, and what I've witnessed over the last decade, but especially within the last few years, is just so um, disappointing and heartbreaking that I I'm like speechless after what happened a couple weeks ago. Um, so for those of you that don't know or are not familiar with, a couple weeks ago, um, Halo came out with, I guess, an announcement or an update, and had like a talk about it, um, about basically how they are again delaying features and they are canceling split screen, and how basically they have basically almost nothing for us after almost an entire year that Halo Infinite has been released. And to put it mildly, the Halo community has not taken this. It's not taking this very well, as they shouldn't. It's just I'm totally speechless at like lack of um, development. I believe it was. Um, I was watching a YouTuber by the name of Faven, and he said it's like having a live service without the live service, which I totally agree with. Um, this game Halo Infinite was supposed to have like a live service aspect where everything's supposed to be, built up over time, but we've barely had any updates a year into this game, and it's I'm just so like done with this. I'm so over it. Um, I was very skeptical that 343 could, um, you know, pull this off or pull off making a good Halo game. I want them to obviously make a good Halo game, but I'm just this like crushes like any hope that I've had going in, and just sort of going over some of the development issues that were going on when Halo Infinite was being made. How it appears they had to delay the game by a year, and obviously we only have like bits and pieces of information, but it seems like that the game was in a complete mess until about a year before they actually released it, and it's kind of seems like a miracle that they actually released the game in the state that it was. Um, and I did like, the campaign. I thought it was solid. I didn't think it was the greatest thing ever, but I thought it was solid. I enjoyed it. Could have been better. But the multiplayer just seems to be a total train wreck. They launched without Slayer. A Slayer playlist. They eventually put it in. But it's like, how do you launch a Halo game without Slayer? Like a Slayer playlist. Like it's ridiculous. Like just either total incompetence or just like cluelessness. I don't know which it is. And like this is supposed to be the flagship game for Xbox, and it's like they're treating it like they're sort of like treating this like a walk in the park. Like I'll give it the old college try or something. It's like this is like millions, maybe perhaps even billions of dollars. This franchise is worth, and they're just sort of treating it like, well, they're not treating it with the respect it needs to be treated with. And I'm just so done with this. I really am so done with this. It's ridiculous. The battle pass system, again, just totally screwed. Just totally screwed up. Not worth your time. And it just seems like, despite the state that the game released, and they haven't done anything in a year, and I'm just so over it. I've actually wanted to replay the campaign under legendary mode, and I haven't even bothered or even had the energy or the will to even pop it in my Xbox again to finish the game again on legendary. And I can't say that for any of the other Halo games, which even 5 with its awful campaign, it's absolutely catastrophe of a campaign. I still beat that under Legendary, even though I, you know, kind of did it more out of like a sense of like of being a completionist than actually enjoying it. But man, like this is a catastrophe. I mean, we're not supposed to be like, apparently we're not supposed to get anything until like anything significant until like spring, like more than a year after this game is released, and it shouldn't be like this. It really should not be like this. Again, like this is a multi-million-dollar franchise, if not billion, and it just it shouldn't be like this. It's ridiculous. And you know, the cutting of split screen, you know, not a huge deal to me. You know, I did enjoy split screen when I was younger, playing with friends, but you know, it's not as big a deal to me today. But I know it is definitely for a lot of people out there, and they said that they would include it, but now it's just like, oh, they can't. And it turns out that there's actually a bug or a glitch where you can actually glitch into split screen. It seems to work like decently, and I'm just scratching my head, like what the heck, like number one, it seems like they have it almost done, so like why not just finish it? Number two, if it is such a freaking mess, why'd you even start in why'd you even do it in the first place? Or why'd you cut it early on and just move on to something else if it was that big of a problem? But it's like they got like 90% to the finish line. It's like, oh no, we're not going to do this. It's just like it's ridiculous. And then a couple weeks later, Bonnie Ross decides decided to step away from 343, citing family issues. I don't know if it's true or not. I guess I'll have to assume it's true because, you know, I think if someone were to lie about that, they'd be a really horrible human being. So, you know, wish her the best in that. But it seems like not just her, but it seems like other people over the last year have been jumping ship. And that would sign to me that there is a lot of problems over 343, and they just don't know what else to do, so they're just going to jump ship and move on to something else instead of. It's not worth the headache anymore, and that is very saddening, to put it mildly. It's just I witnessed the slow death of Halo over the last decade. It's like watching a pet die slowly, and it's just awful. You know, it feels terrible. I don't plan on playing much multiplayer in the future, if at all. Actually, no, I don't think I'm ever going to play that multiplayer again. Maybe out of like morbid curiosity here and there, just to see if they ever get their act together. But I doubt it. Yeah, I mean, at a bare minimum, there should be an entire restructuring at 343. Some people have suggested that the franchise be given to an entirely new company, which I would not be opposed to. I don't know if it would fix everything or make things better, but there needs to be a drastic change. And I think, like, at bare minimum, they need to, like, you know, change leadership. They need to change management, because this seems like a management problem, like an organizational structure and like just management problem. They had 5 years, and I understand, like, the state of the world was pretty screwed up for 2 of those years, and they had to work remotely. But you know, it's still like 3 to 4, you know, solid years. Normal years they had to, you know, work on this. It really should not take that long. And I just scratched my head, like, well, what did they do for those 5 years? I don't understand what they did for those 5 years. It's just like I'm utterly flabbergasted, and they seem totally tone deaf with this. As of actually today, I was sort of following this minor story with Halo 5, how apparently 343 had a world premiere, and they just spent like an hour premiering the release of a Forge map remake of Halo 3's The Pit. And okay, that's, you know, golf. I'll give a golf clap for that. But, you know, like, there's like the whole kitchen's on fire and they're just worried about they literally wasted an hour out of our days just to say that, oh, we have this new map, a remake of a a Halo classic map, when they have so many other problems. It's totally tone deaf. The kitchen's on fire, and they're just worried about watering their plants. It's just like I said, there seems to be total like detachment and tone deafness. I'm just shocked. I honestly can't tell if it's willful ignorance or if they're actually don't understand, and that's just disappointing. Put it mildly. I was actually kind of like humored by it, almost to the point. It's almost comical at this point how tone deaf they are. So yeah, the whole community again got pissed off again that they literally just made this big deal out of a Forge map, or it's the remake of this map, Pit. And I thought it was when I played it in Halo 3, I thought it was a good map, but it's like that's no reason to take an hour to make an hour presentation on it. They're so full. It seems like they're so full of themselves, and they haven't earned it. Okay, they think they're like this godlike developer, or this godlike studio, and they haven't earned any of those accolades. They just have been given a franchise that has those accolades, and if anything, they've let it slip over time and have kind of run it into the ground. It's just man. I'm gonna have to like go to therapy for this, Rick. Really, this really just pisses me off how we've gotten to this point. So yeah, it seems like another mass exodus of Halo players is just walking away from this franchise, and I don't blame them at all. I still play the MCC, but it's sad. Like every single release, even the MCC, like I just mentioned, MCC, what came out a total disaster. Halo 4 comes out and has a totally copy paste on like just mediocre multiplayer. And I guess debatable whether the campaign was good or not. Some people think it was, some people think it wasn't. But I think you can enjoy the campaign. I don't know if it's the greatest thing ever, but you can enjoy it. I guess I'd say it was solid, even though it had its problems. And then Halo's 5's campaign, just absolute catastrophe. But their multiplayer was actually, I thought, was decent. I thought it was decent. I enjoyed myself at times, but didn't really, still kind of felt like it wasn't where it needed to be quite yet. And then now Halo Infinite, it's, again, the campaign seems to be, I thought was solid, but, multiplayer is a total freaking mess. And it's like they can't do both. Like, I don't understand how 20 years ago Bungie could, make an entire trilogy where they were able to do both and make great campaigns, great multiplayer. And for some reason, an entire studio, Halo 343, can't do it. So it's just I don't know what to say, man. This is just screwed up. Like, let's look at the actual update here. It says Forge beta, which again, why wasn't Forge released at launch or shortly after launch? Again, that we've had to wait over a year for Forge is ridiculous, and I can't believe we got to this point. Campaign network co-op mission replay, again, that should be a feature in the base game. Like I can remember the days when those kind of things were in the game. You didn't even like give it a second thought, and now it's like we have to add it in a year later, more than a year later. So every other Halo game has it. This one doesn't. So good job, 343. I guess late is better late than never. 30 TL Battle Pass. Don't care. Battle Pass is garbage. I basically totally ignore it, which is unfortunate. Detachment and Argyle looks like 2 maps. Again, probably should have more map releases more frequently. You're getting 2 maps in from November to March. That's like almost almost 6 months. Like what? Jeez. Ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Arena and Big Team Battle new maps. Again, probably not Probably should be more frequent releases. M392 Bandit looks like sort of like a DMR kind of weapon, a precision weapon, because you know that's what we need, more precision weapons in Halo. Again, not too different from the DMR, not really that original, but whatever. Shroud screen. Okay, I mean, I would keep an open mind about it, I guess, but you know, again, kind of don't know why that wasn't in release again. There was the bubble shield in Halo 3. I kind of enjoyed the bubble shield. I think it sort of changed things up. This is new 100 tier battle pass. Again, fuck battle pass. A bunch of other things down here. Custom games browser. Wow. Well, they're actually going to have a custom games browser. New narrative event. Don't care. Narrative events are garbage. It's not even worth having a narrative. Honestly, multiplayer, having a narrative multiplayer at this point is not even worth it. I don't know why they even bother with it. It's just such trash and not interesting at all. In-game reporting. Wow, we have to add in-game reporting. Like, like basic features that were like, you know, things you didn't even think about being added into the game are now being added in a year later. Like in the old days. Like this is ridiculous. Forge beta updates, quality of life improvements. Well, shit, yeah, they need quite a few of those. VIP and escalation. VIP does, I don't know, those game modes don't really interest me. I usually just play Slayer. New fracture event, don't care. Match XP beta, don't care. Covert one flag is, oh yeah, that's a stupid new game mode, like what they said it was like spies versus mercs or something. Again, don't care. Probably going to be a weird game mode nobody plays. New event, joint fire, don't care. Winter contingency, is that another event? Yeah, I don't even care about these events. They need to fix so many of the things before they even start worrying about events. Just ridiculous. So yeah, I'm probably done with I'm done with this trash. I mean, it's ridiculous. I hope one day Halo can return to respectability again. But as of right now, 343 has kind of run everything into the ground. They've run into their trust, but any trust or goodwill that the community still had, I think is basically done. I think it's over. Right now, if they were to announce a Halo game for next year, I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't buy it. I bought every single other Halo game on release day until Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite I bought like a couple months later, actually, because again, I think 343 has destroyed it's been destroying their trust with their consumers, and they've destroyed their trust with me. As of right now, I basically have none. They have to, they have to put the proof in their work at this point. If Halo can even continue at this point, I don't even know if it can even continue at this point. So, yeah. So yeah, go ahead and let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'll be interested to see if you guys have any thoughts on how they could turn this around, or fix it, or if it can be at all, or if it's over and you're just going to move on. Hey, I don't blame you. So until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video.